Hey everybody, happy Sunday. This is going to be most likely the final video on the day. This is the look ahead to tonight's Sunday night football game versus our Philadelphia Eagles and the Seattle Seahawks. The Seahawks have won the last 3 games against the Eagles, which dates back to 2008, but none of those Eagles teams were the Eagles team of this year, and being Matt Ryan was able to throw around pretty well on Seattle's defense without Chancellor and Sherman. That should spell well for Carson Wentz, whose numbers are significantly better, obviously, than Matt Ryan's this year. And Kirk Cousins early in the season was able to go into Seattle and make some key throws to beat them, who again is is significantly lesser than Carson Wentz. If we compare the quarterbacks' numbers of today's game, which are 2 of the very good quarterbacks this year, if not the top 2 ranked in the NFC this year, being Rodgers is out. Wentz is 213 for 354. He has 2,657 yards with 28 touchdowns and 5 picks, which gives him a great 104 rating. Wilson is 256 for 411. Again, Wilson has to throw a lot, and he's the main reason Seattle wins a lot of their games because he's a great rusher, which the Eagles are going to have to contain him and do a lot of QB spies in order to keep him in the pocket and keep him from harming them too much running around. We did well against Cam Newton, but Russell Wilson's a little bit more stealthy and quick in the sense of being able to get to a hole quicker than Cam. He has 3,029 yards with 23 touchdowns and 8 picks for a good 95.2 rating. LeGarrette Blount this year has 658 yards with 2 touchdowns and 4.8. Of course, the Eagles use a mix of running backs. Clement has looked good of late. Ajayi has had a lot of good runs since he's been here. So the Seattle Seahawks rushing defense is 9th and only allows 98.4 yards. But the Eagles mix it up so much with different style backs that might be able to throw off their good rushing defense and spell success for us rather than them. Rawls, their rushing game is pretty much non-existent, doesn't even have a touchdown on the season. Ertz is our leading receiver with 7 touchdowns, although Alshon, who just got re-signed to a great contract to keep him in the team, also has 7, and Baldwin has 4, who's a guy we're going to have to watch and guard tightly. Comparing the offenses, the Seattle's offense has 24.2 points per game, which is 10th in the league, so they have a top 10 offense. They also have 363.1 yards, which is 8th, top 10, and 260.2 passing yards, which is 7th in the top 10, and then significantly falling is their 102.9 rushing yards, which is 19th in the league. As said, the Seattle Seahawks rely pretty much nothing on the rushing game other than Russell Wilson's rushing game, who picks up a lot of rushing yards himself and passing yards. Wilson, again, is the main reason he's having a stellar season, why Seattle is good this year, but he hasn't faced the pass rush that the Eagles are able to mix in different schemes during the game and different play calling where they look like they're going to blitz, then they back off, or they don't look like they're going to blitz and they only bring 3 guys and they get there. The Eagles, Jim Schwartz is a very good defensive coordinator at being able to stop good quarterbacks and did very well with doing QB spies and being able to stop Cam Newton so he couldn't really get out of the pocket when we played Carolina. The Eagles' offense has 13.9 points per game, which is easily puts them in first place. 381.5 total yards, which puts that third. 230 for passing yards, which puts that 15th, and 147.5 rushing yards with a mixed amount of backs, which puts us at 2nd. Again, Seattle's defense, when we look at their defense, only allows 98.4 rushing yards a game, which puts them in the top 10 at 9th, and 311.7 total yards, which puts them at 8th, and 213.4 passing yards, which puts them at 10th, and 19.3 points, which puts them at 9th. So everything's in the top 10 still for Seattle's defense, but going off of the basis of Cousins was able to make clutch throws against them in Seattle, and as was Matt Ryan, that should spell well for Carson Wentz. And the Eagles also they don't have a Julio Jones on the team, but all-around spread offense because of the fear of the 3 running backs we mix in and out, plus Jeffrey, Smith, Aguilar, and especially Zach Ertz. We should have success against this defense more than other teams because we have a mix of a plethora of weapons on our offense, and Mac Hollins has stepped up in the past couple weeks And I would say he should have a pretty decent game tonight because you're going to want to use a tall wide receiver a little more against the Seahawks team still. And also, they got Byron Maxwell in their backfield now due to all their injuries, so we should definitely look to take advantage of him. The Eagles' defense allows 17.4 points a game, which is third, 291.6 yards, which is sixth, 226.5 pass yards, which is 17th. Going to have to defend the pass well against Russell Wilson because that's the big part, obviously, of Seattle's game. 651 rushing yards, or 65.1 rushing yards, which is first. The Eagles have the best rushing defense, which means Seattle's really going to have to most likely just pass against us. Not even most likely, it's pretty much definite because Rolls has been non-existent, that pretty much they're just going to have to pass against us, which has been Seattle's game so far already this year. But when you have to pass a lot of times, more even than they've been doing this year, which is going to be likely in this game because of our rushing defense, they won't be able to mix it in much at all. That's going to spell big success for the Eagles. I think the Eagles should be able to win this game 28-24. It'll be a close game, and we will win by a small margin, which is how most teams have been winning in Seattle, but we will win this game. We will persevere. We'll have a good game. Once we'll have a good game, or mix of the plethora of running backs, we'll have a good game. And look for Ertz or Jeffrey to have a good game, because once one of them gets on a roll, they'll probably continuously go to one of them. Let's go, Eagles. Have a great day, everyone. Peace out.